Hello, hello, and welcome back to Shatter Our Souls with Novaria. Now, today we are continuing the very hard challenge of Super Smash Bros. 64. What this was, or is an attempt to beat all of the characters' very hard version classic modes, and hopefully with decent results. Six are out of the way. Magic number 7 is hopefully Captain Falcon. Now, Captain Falcon as a character in the early days was actually incredibly overpowered. He had some of the best individual physical strength out of any character in the early games. Um, on par with characters that would later be the heavyweights like Bowser and Monsieur Ganondorf. Captain Falcon, however, is one of the very few characters in the original Super Smash Bros. That had a totally unique fighting style to him due to this game, simply because there was nothing really to base it off of. He existed as a character in F-Zero, but F-Zero didn't really have a whole lot to work from. It was, for lack of better terminology, a racing game. Therefore, not very much to work with to create a fighting game. So what they went with was creating an all-new character based partially on an animation, if I am remembering accurately. This makes Captain Falcon one of the more unique characters. The Falcon punches, Falcon kicks, and really the special moves in general make Captain Falcon one of, if not the most unique and versatile characters in the game. I just got shot in the face. As far as edge guarding goes, Captain Falcon has one of the best kits for it, with the Falcon Punch as well as the, I'm not even sure what you call it, but it's his up B or up special ability, which allows him to grab onto an opponent like this and send them flying with an explosion. This ability is the bread and butter of Captain Falcon's kit in this game, especially where it comes into multi-man battles. As far as mobility, he is, I believe, the second fastest character in the game, but has, sorry, second fastest movement speed. So, he was set up from the very beginning to be one of the strongest characters. So why is he number 7? Well, it comes to a couple basics. The first is that his attack speed is relatively low comparatively. He makes up for this with some wildly powerful attacks, but it is something to note that his capabilities are somewhat limited in that regard. Now, I admit, this video, I also have to give credit to another individual. This individual doesn't have a YouTube or really much of any online presence. But my friend, Bobbledead, spent an entire morning just goofing around, chit-chatting, and having a grand old time as we poked fun at each other's misfortune in these attempting this challenge. And poking fun at each other was what made this video possible. And part of it is the camaraderie of it, and part of it is simply because when you have somebody else there and you're describing just why the challenge is as hard as it is, you don't really realize that you made a mockery of the challenge until it's done. And that's kind of what happened here. Was despite it taking, 6, 7 attempts per player to get one successful run, being able to mess around and laugh about it is what really made this challenge possible. So a special shout out to Bobbledead for that, for their contribution to today's video. Oh, monkey. Nope, monkey fell. Anywho, we're going into the second half of the challenge. And it's about this point in time where the average run goes from kind of mediocre to difficult. And it all starts with the Kirby team. Now, the Kirbys are uniquely powerful squad because they're using abilities from various characters all at once. So you have the Donkey Kong Mega Punch, you have Mario's Fireballs, Link's Boomerang, all playing against you. You have Fox's Laser Beam, and the random Blastoise, because of course you would. Why wouldn't we have a Blastoise on the battlefield? And so, what that means for this particular section is that this matchup is one that has consistently been a challenge for me. Partially because of the inability to fully predict what is going to be coming up next, along with a little bit of lag. The inability to predict what's coming up is a commonplace when it comes to multi-man battles. A lot of players mention that the more chaotic the battle is, the easier it is to lose your character. And I believe that in a one-on-one battle, I could beat any individual Smash Bros. Character with any other character. But a one-on-one is one thing, a three-on-one is something totally different. And the reason why I bring it up that way is because Smash 64 has a lot of liberties taken. And it makes it so that each individual character is unique and plays according to what we would expect them to play. But this challenge really sees the uptick in difficulty when dealing with Metal Mario. Now, I've been off and on challenging this run since April of this year. And it's come to my attention that the easiest way to beat Metal Mario is to let Metal Mario beat himself. Get off the edge. Off the edge. Nope. I fell. Metal Mario's entire kit is based on... Nope, not getting the star today. Is the same as Mario's, except he has a low flinch rate and a high damage threshold, we'll say. This makes Metal Mario uniquely difficult to beat in one-on-one battles because he is, well, he's heavy. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't move the way other characters would. So, letting circumstances like a random bob-on do the job is kind of a necessity. The next battle, being the 30-man multi-character battle, is... Admittedly, this is the battle that usually ends runs. And the reason behind it is twofold. Certain characters don't have the best kits for dealing with multi-man battles, or have slow attack speed, and sometimes it's just a matter of you get bad luck. You get a random bomb that got thrown on the ground that you didn't catch, or something. Maybe your opponents got healed early. Whatever the circumstances is that you fell, the reality is this battle has the highest likelihood of any in this particular challenge to go awry. And I personally like that about this portion of the challenge, because it means that this isn't a complete cakewalk. but it's still doable. Oh man, they threw the bomb off the edge. I wish that, like, there is a little bit of a desire for luck in this. Typically, I want one of 3 item drops. I want either the hearts, the Maxim tomatoes, or I want a hammer. And I don't care who grabs the hammer. I'd prefer to grab the hearts and Maxim tomatoes myself. But if I miss them, I miss them. What I want is that hammer. The reason I want the hammer is because regardless of who gets it, they have friendly fire on. Which will mean that all of them will end up dealing damage to one another relatively easily. And this does come to a head at times, but it makes it so that you're guaranteed to get some KOs or let your opponent take each other out. And sometimes, although rare, it is possible to get through those without too much of an... Oh, yep, there it goes. My opponent just defeated themselves. It doesn't necessarily matter who you're challenging, because every character has some degree of luck in this battle. Now, if I was approaching it with 5 lives, it may not require as much luck. It would be more of a battle of attrition than anything. But generally, I want to be approaching this battle with at least 3 lives left for optimal circumstances. This isn't to say it's impossible on a single life, it's just the likelihood is very low. Anywho, we are down to the last 2 opponents, and I've almost KO'd myself, so let's... Nope, 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 nope. Bye-bye. And bye-bye. For the final round. Now, you know the drill by now. If you've know anything about Smash Bros, the final battle is always some version of Master Hand. 300 health and 50 HP dealt in the first minor combo. I'm looking like this is going to be a pretty reasonable battle. Okay. Overall, Captain Falcon does feel better in Smash 64 than I anticipated, but I feel like he really came into his own in Smash 4 and Ultimate, where his movement capabilities were really given a chance to shine, making him, I suppose, a stronger character just in general. Oh, that doesn't block. Cool. 9 HP left, and the battle is won. There are about 5 characters left to complete this challenge. That being Mario, Luigi, Ness, Jigglypuff, and who was the last one? Shoot. Ness, Jigglypuff. I'll remember it later. Anywho, have a good one.